It's official, more Dragon Ball Super updates are going to be coming shortly. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super video, and today we're going to be over on X, and I'm going to be honest, this is going to be a little bit of a yapathon, so if you like these type of videos, W to you, because we now officially know that Dragon Ball Super and just more Dragon Ball updates as a whole, outside of the big event a couple of months ago, outside of Battle Hour next month, are going to be coming in. Battle Hour is something that we'll talk about a little bit in this video as well. So we're gonna start out here over on X on DBS Hype's page, as this tweet from him says more super new developments will continue to be revealed well beyond the 40th anniversary, which is obviously this year, right? Via DBS_official_EN, and thanks to Vinix over on Twitter as well for noticing. And I have their tweet over on this screen as well. So this is going to be from the official English Dragon Ball account, or Dragon Ball website, excuse me, which says super new developments will continue to unfold well beyond the 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball, so stay tuned. I think this might actually be at the end of their page on the Genki Diamond event, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, please correct me, because I don't feel like clicking on this right now. I just kind of want to stay over here so we can discuss this a little bit, but I think that's where that's from, maybe at like the end of that article in the last paragraph or something like that. But when it comes to the Genki Diamond event from the end of January, we know a couple of things, right? We know that we're getting the big Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol arc anime probably sometime next year, if I could assume. And we also know that later on this year, actually in a couple of months, probably in fall of 2026, we're also getting the Dragon Ball Super Beerus remake as well. And we've learned a lot of things since then. Credit to everybody over on X, like DBS Hype, Vinix, and Sofian Lageek, guys like those, for being able to have these connections and speak to these developers and producers and things like that. So we know that the Dragon Ball Super Beerus remake is going to be a couple of episodes long. It's going to be basically a rehashing with, you know, updated quality and improvements for the Dragon Ball Super anime. Then after that, they're going to go to the Golden Frieza saga, and that's going to be, I can't remember the exact number, and I can't really find it right now, but we did a video on it. So that arc should be, I think, between 6 and 12 episodes as well. And then they'll go so on and so forth. The Goku Black arc will probably be a little bit longer. The Tournament of Power will obviously be a little bit longer. And then I think what the plan is to do all of these remakes, you know, improve the quality of the animation, cut some of the fat and some of the filler from the episodes, make them more concise. And then I think they want this to lead into the Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol anime, which again is going to be another long arc. So the Tournament of Power and then the Moral arc back to back, it's going to be relatively long, but I cannot wait. If they really do remakes up until the current saga, which is the Moral arc, I cannot wait to see what they fix in the Tournament of Power, or what they improve on. Like, the animation was already pretty decent in some of the more significant parts, so I can't wait to see what they redo and how they redub it and everything like that. That's gonna be amazing. So what I think could potentially be revealed from here on forward is, remember before the big event, that some of the things we were speculating on, obviously a lot of the stuff came true, like the Moral arc and the season 2 for Sparking Zero, which we knew was going to come eventually anyway. But I think some of the things that we speculated on that we actually missed were obviously the big one, the manga coming back, right, which we're still waiting on. And hopefully, you know, now that we know the anime is coming back in 2 different forms, and we have also, I forgot to mention Xenoverse 3 as well. Hopefully soon this year, if we're lucky, that we'll also get the manga return update as well. Now, there's no telling when or if that could even happen. We all know about all the things going on in the background with Dragon Ball as a franchise. So hopefully that is one of the things that we can look forward to, being a new super development later on this year, or well beyond the 40th anniversary. And another one is, if I had to guess, they would just be announcing the other parts of the remakes for the Dragon Ball Super anime past Dragon Ball Super Beerus. Now, I think this one's obviously the most obvious. If they did have any big surprises, I assume that they would have just, you know, announced them at the big event at the end of January, like they did with Xenoverse 3 or Age 1000. And then they also had like updates for a lot of the mobile games and things like that as well. So moving forward, I think the two things that make the most sense now, we don't know for sure. You know, I haven't seen any sources kind of even hinting on if or when the manga could come back. Even like the really reliable sources, like I don't think I've seen DBS Hype mention anything positive about the manga outside of like sales and things like that for months at this point. So whenever the Dragon Ball Super manga does return, trust me guys, you are gonna see probably a couple of videos from me because we're gonna have so much to talk about. But as of right now, that one's kind of more wishful thinking, right? The other one is gonna be for those other sagas of the remake. Now I think one more thing that we have to look forward to as well, that since we have, you know, we know Battle Hour is next month and we've already seen the teaser trailer for season 2 of Sparking Zero, is we don't know if that's even gonna be everything, because we already have what I think it's 9 characters if I'm not mistaken that are so far confirmed for season 2 of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Demon King Piccolo, Super 17, Zangya, I forget the other, Pycon, I forget everybody else off the top of my head. You guys get the point, right? But I think one thing that people are overlooking is 9 characters. That's enough for like 1 pack of the DLC. Like last year we had in the season 1 DLC, we had the Hero of Justice pack, then we had Daima 1, then we had Daima 2. The Hero of Justice pack was like 11 characters in total, DLC characters in that DLC pack. They had the 3 custom battles, they had the Piccolo customization. So that alone, with the characters that we know of right now, I think those are just, you know, some that they picked like the most hype to show us, but that's enough characters for just a single pack. If this DLC is gonna lead up until like the winter time or maybe like early next year is how I assume maybe the season 2 DLC will be structured, where we get at least 2 packs, probably 3, but at least 2 if I had to guess. We'll probably get a, like we've been predicting for a while now, an OG Dragon Ball DLC pack, a GT expansion DLC pack, which we've already seen major characters from both of those. Like I said earlier, Demon King Piccolo, Devilman, Grandpa Gohan for an OG Dragon Ball DLC. Then for a GT expansion DLC, we already have Super 17. So all they would have to reveal then is like Ice and Nova Shenron. Then to add a little bit more to that, obviously add more custom battles, maybe add GT to the episode battles. That would be really hype. I think people would be really excited for that. And then maybe like Real Dough. Hellfighter 17 is still something that we don't know for sure if he'll be a thing or if they're just gonna allow us to put 2 Android 17s on our team. But Super 17 and Sparking Zero is officially confirmed via V-Jump, which we did a video on as well, as being a fusion character. So however they choose to do that, whether we get a new Hellfighter 17 character to choose from on the roster, or we're just able to pick Android 17 twice, like with Metal Cooler or the Cybermen or Cell Juniors or something like that. Either way to do that, I think is going to be pretty dope. Now, the 3rd DLC pack, since we have a couple of movie characters that they're teasing so far, maybe that could be like one of the parts as well, which that one would of course come with more stages, I think, which is also something we've covered in the past and kind of made a wish list type video for as well. So if you guys can think of any new stages that you want in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero that we don't have currently, remember they've already teased Master Roshi's house in the teaser trailer. I suspect that soon we'll get like the Lookout and other things like that. Let me know down below in the comments what stages you want to see in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero moving forward. Now, my last prediction that I had for the big event that actually didn't come through, and I was so confident in it, and this could be something to look forward to in the future, is the announcement of Dragon Ball Super or just Dragon Ball movies moving forward as well, which I think is still something that could be on the horizon. I was actually more surprised to get an announcement on the anime not just coming back once but twice, and no movie announcement, which was really, that's what shocked me the most. So moving forward, maybe not this year because we know the Dragon Ball Super Beerus remake is coming in the fall of this year, so maybe not this year, maybe next year, if they're gonna be, you know, trying to extend this Dragon Ball Super remake. And we already know that a couple of these arcs in Dragon Ball Super are kind of on the long side, and then we're getting into the Dragon Ball Super Moral arc. we don't really know how long this build up to the moral arc is gonna take. Now, I'm on the side of, you know, they take as long as they need to, building up to what I feel like is probably the best arc in Dragon Ball Super. But also we have to remember the wording that they used when they revealed this as well. They specifically said that the Galactic Patrol arc is set for production, and we know since the Beerus arc is getting released later this year that they're probably not too deep in development into the later arcs, right? If I had to guess, they're probably somewhere maybe near the middle or end of the Golden Frieza arc, and I don't have anything to substantiate that. I'm just going off of, you know, how long I think they'll take to release the Galactic Patrol Prison Saga or the Galactic Patrol arc, and how long it's gonna take to, you know, kind of fill in these other arcs in between there. So that's just what I think. You guys let me know what you think down below in the comments, but that is gonna do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Just a really quick Dragon Ball Super update for you guys. We have more news on the horizon, and don't forget that Battle Hour is next month as well. If you guys are gonna be out there, I think it's in LA this year if I'm not mistaken, let me know. Unfortunately, I won't be there. You guys know I got the pregnant wife, so I gotta be here, and it's getting close to that time. But whatever gets, you know, announced or covered at Battle Hour, we're gonna be going over right here, especially since we know that Xenoverse 3 is gonna be a big topic of discussion, and there are gonna be more reveals for that title at Battle Hour 2026. So that is gonna do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. We have a lot to look forward to from the 40th anniversary and beyond. I think the big one obviously is we want to know when the manga is coming back. We know the anime is coming back, hopefully somewhere later on down the line. I think we're kind of on schedule if we, you know, want to go by the last couple of movies, right? It's about that time once again. So maybe soon there'll be a Dragon Ball Super movie announcement or some kind of new character or prequel movie or something like that. And then obviously we have all of the games about to get this new content too. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, my boys.